What's up, guys? Happy Saturday. Back in the backyard here in these harsh environments. We got beautiful sun. We got a little bit of wind. Enjoying my Saturday. Hope you guys having an amazing Saturday. Got some amazing content here for you. I'm going to talk to you guys about the first round and players to potentially avoid or just be aware of. So drafter beware. Those early round picks, I got 4 of them that you got to really be careful of because they could really potentially bust. Do I love them? As players, as talent, sure, I love them. But for fantasy, it's a different discussion. So 4 players in the first round you may want to consider avoiding, and why. We're talking drafter beware. Potential players to avoid. If you're new to the channel, guys, smash it, tap it, slap it. I'm making a shirt. I'm due for a shirt on tap it, smash it, slap it shirt. Also, guys, if you want to get a No Sheep shirt, a bunch of people order them today. You can get them on the website, thefantasyfootballcounselor.com, under the swag section, under store. Order your No Sheep shirt. Let's start the movement with the lion mentality. I got more shirts coming your way. New designs coming as well. If you haven't gotten 16 rounds, guys, get it right now. You'll be light years ahead of the competition. I'm in the middle of a 2K buy-in league. I'm in the second round. Man, it's been wild. I might reveal that in the fantasy frontline community. You can also get it in the 16 rounds because I tell you all the optimal players. I walk through different scenarios on how to draft, omitting players like these guys that could potentially bust last year, guys. And that's one thing I'm really good at. I don't mean to brag, but let me give you an example, okay? Proof of concept. Last year, guys, I said avoid Tony Pollard. Why? Because he sucks. It's so simple. And he was coming off in the first round. I'm like, dude, let someone else take him, right? Another example, Austin Eckler. He was due for a decline. I'm like, dude, let somebody else take Austin Eckler, man. Don't waste, a first-round pick on Austin Eckler. How about Dalvin Cook round 5, J.K. Dobbins round 4, Mike Williams round 5, and on, right? So it's about seeing stuff, and that's one thing I'm really good at. Again, I do this for a living, is that being able to see who's potentially going to bust and warning you about it. So let's go through these 4 players here. Again, grab 16 rounds, smash it, tap it, and get a shirt, guys. Grab the No Sheep shirt. You can get it on the website, all right? First player you got to be aware of, okay? And drop a comment below. Let me know if you agree. I want to make this interactive. I'd love to get your feedback, okay? We're in June now. It's full flow fantasy season. Let's get that lion mentality. Let's get your comments here. Let's get your questions. Let's dive in, okay? The sun is really piercing down on me, so if I'm squinting, you understand why, okay? So drop a comment below. Let me know, all right? I hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday. What are you guys doing Saturday? Drop it below. I want to hear. Let's make it interactive. I like to respond to as many people as I can, okay? So first guy is Puka Nacua. Let's talk about him. Wide receiver 8. He's a first-round pick. Very expensive for a guy who could possibly be the wide receiver 2, and that's the biggest problem I have here. So here, I'm going to go through some stats here for you. This is why he's kind of dangerous, okay? He's coming off kind of mid to late first round. I'm in a 2K buy-in league. I think he came off round 9 or 10, give or take. I got to go back and look. I got Bijan round 1, or Bijan. You guys are going to say, oh, he said Bijan. He said it the right way. I know. I get caught up with that sometimes. It's Bijan, okay? I got Bijan. 8th pick, he fell to me. And then I think Puka came off like right after, give or take, okay? I'll tell you why he's risky. Let's talk about his stats last year, okay? 17 games, 160 targets, 105 receptions, 1,486 yards, 6 touchdowns. Great season. The guy's got heart. The guy's got talent. There's no doubt about it, okay? Let's go over the good first. Talent, heart, great player. Cooper Kupp is still there. He was the alpha in that roster, right? But he only played 12 games. He's sitting as wide receiver 23 compared to wide receiver 8 in Puka. So you can get Cooper Kupp for a discount. Now, I will tell you, I'm avoiding both of these guys because they're both coming off very high. This is that similar type of situation in rounds 2 to 4, even 1 to 4 in this case, where there's uncertainty on who the alpha is, and yet people are investing. Example, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs. Like, nobody really knows. I know Diggs got paid and incentivized very highly, got that rapport with Stroud, but they got Tank Dell there, they got Diggs there, who's going to demand the ball. If it's a disaster type situation, I tend to avoid those situations. I'm always looking at top of the depth chart and going for the alphas of the teams. Not to say that Puka's not going to have a great season or Cooper Kupp. They're all going to be viable, but I'm looking for the alphas, the top dogs, the huge volume getters, and not worry about major volume distribution and splits and uncertainty on who the one is. So Cooper Kupp, 12 games, 95 targets compared to the 160, but again, he played less games, 59 receptions compared to the 105 of Puka, 737 yards, 5 touchdowns. So he only had 1 touchdown less than Puka, okay? And again, he's back. If he plays a full season, you should definitely be concerned as a Puka owner in the first round. Now, I went back and I looked at the targets, okay, from weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, I looked at them compared to Puka and Cooper Kupp, all right? 12, 11, 9, 7, 7, 12, 10, 7, 7, 7, 7. Okay, so let's go through this, right? So out of these games, Cooper Kupp had 3 games out of 5 where he was targeted more. Again, 12 targets to 11 in week 5, 9 targets to 7. Then it was in week 7, it was more of a Puka week. The point I'm trying to make is it's like almost like a direct split. And out of those 5 games, as a little short kind of glimpse, I took a little snippet on kind of when they were both playing, who was getting the targets. And again, weeks 5 to 9, 3 out of those, Cooper Kupp actually had more targets. So is that going to be an issue? Yeah, man, Cooper Kupp, if he plays a full season, is going to be an issue. All I'm saying is that Puka is very, very expensive, and you got to worry about Cooper Kupp still having a chance to be the one, because he was the one. Now, I'm not a fan of Cooper Kupp, so it's coming from me. So this was their golden boy. All of a sudden, copy and paste, Puka has a better season, Cooper Kupp is trash compared to him. It's weird, man. And all I'm saying is I love Puka, but again, very risky. So now you've got the facts. Up to you guys to make a decision. I'm just telling you there's better options like Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, other guys that I like that I'd rather have over Puka. That's all I'm saying, okay? Because of the reasons stated here, okay? Very expensive. Now, again, I explained all this in 60 rounds, omitting all of the guys that I don't like, giving you all the optimal players. So this is very important. I love having this conversation. The next guy, I'm not going to spend too much time on him because I talk about him a lot, is Christian McCaffrey. Now, the problem with him is he's coming off 2 pinnacle years, guys. Two pinnacle years. That's a problem. Typically, running backs coming off 1 year tend to fall the year after. Remember, 2020 and 2021, he played 10 games in those 2 seasons. Injury plagued him. Maybe he's over that, but he had 2 amazing seasons. In 2022, finished second amongst running backs in PPR fantasy points. Last year, finished number 1 in PPR amongst running backs in fantasy points. Okay? He's 29 years old. They got Mitchell there. They just drafted Isaac Arenda, who had an amazing combine, really fast running back. Okay? They got Jordan Mason. They got other options there. Not to mention Ayuk and Debo. There's talk about either Ayuk or Debo. There's rumors that they might end up on the Steelers. They drafted Ricky Pearsall in round 1. He is a sleeper, by the way. I'm actually liking him more and more. 6'1", 200 pounds out of Florida, pick 31 in the NFL draft. There's a sleeper bonus for you. That's why you guys got to listen. Slap it, tap it, smash it for that extra value and some golden nuggets there. No sheep, guys. Listen, again, Christian McCaffrey, very, very expensive. I'm personally staying away from him. Again, what goes up must come down. Older, Super Bowl hangover. I got my reasons on why I'm avoiding him, and those are it. Okay, now he is safe. He is sturdy. He is reliable. He is the true RB1, and he's got a lot of things going for him. Personally, for me, what goes up must come down, and Christian McCaffrey's going down. All right. And you can't predict injuries. No, I can't. But again, law of averages. You're only so perfect for so long, and then things go down. Okay. Next guy, number 3. Be careful. Drafter beware. Player to avoid. I told you to avoid him last year. I was right. This year, again, he could bounce back. You say, well, he's trending upwards. The guy I'm talking about is Justin Jefferson, okay? 10 games, 100 targets, 68 receptions, 5 touchdowns last year, just over 1,000 yards. The guy's a great player. But who's throwing the ball? Is it Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy, washed-up running quarterbacks? We don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. His main quarterback that made him who he is gone. There is no Cousins there. Okay? And he wants to sign this mega contract and all this stuff. Dude, they can't even afford a good quarterback. That's why they might pay Jefferson, but they got no one to throw it to him. Now, there is a chance that JJ or these guys make him viable. Based on volume and talent, he could still be viable. As long as there's a quarterback that gets him the ball, he's the guy. But, you see all these wide receiver twos, guys like Waddle and all these guys getting paid, Nico Collins, they get paid very, very well. And maybe they take a step up this year. Maybe they don't need Jefferson. I don't know what they're going to do here, but all I know is that he's very expensive in fantasy drafts, and you got to be aware of the quarterback. Guys, quarterbacks make wide receivers. I don't know. I'm just not doing it. I can't pull the trigger on him for a fantasy draft pick, knowing the fact that he's super expensive, knowing he's coming off that hamstring injury, that could linger, all these things. It's just too many question marks. So for me, I'm passing on him. You've been warned. Quarterback play is huge, and he doesn't have a good quarterback. We don't know. There's so much uncertainty for a first-round pick to have a quarterback that's suspect. Justin Jefferson could be a problem. And the last guy, I've talked about this in other videos, but I want to make it very, very clear for you. Before I get into this last guy, it's very important. He's a first-round pick, maybe early second. Sometimes he falls to second, but typically a first-round pick. Before I get to him, make sure you guys do smash that thumbs up. If this is making sense to you, talk common sense, smash it, tap it, slap it, and grab 16 rounds, okay? It'll put your light years out of the consensus. I've linked it below here, guys. everything. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players, principal cheat sheet that I update up until the season starts. Grab 16 rounds, guys. You guys will never look back, okay? Rankings are dead. All right, let's talk about it. Jahmyr Gibbs here is the guy I'm talking about. Let's go over some stats here. 219 attempts, 1,000. Listen to these stats carefully, okay? 219 attempts, 1,015 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns. Did you guys listen to those stats? Those aren't Jahmyr Gibbs stats. Let me go over them again. 219 attempts, 1,015 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns. Those aren't Jahmyr Gibbs stats. Those are David Montgomery's. If David Montgomery gets hurt, oh my goodness, man. Jahmyr Gibbs is the best running back in the game. He was hindered last year. Held back to 182 attempts, 945 yards, 5.2 yards per carry, and 10 touchdowns. Montgomery hoarded away, again, I'm not going to repeat those stats again, but again, 219 attempts, 1,000 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, and 13 touchdowns. I did it just so I could hammer in the home that David Montgomery is going to be annoying on this roster. I know because I owned Jahmyr Gibbs last year, okay? So listen, I love Gibbs. I love the talent. I think he's explosive. I think he's the best running back in the game. He needs to get that volume. And if you're stealing away over 200 attempts, that bothers me. Now you're saying, well, Joe, he's still going to finish as a top 10 running back. Yes, potentially, for sure. And the fact of the matter is he definitely could. But am I able, again, I'm going to keep talking about this. Week 1, you draft this guy first round, okay? He's your first round pick. Week 1 comes out. It's the first drive. The Lions come out on the field. You see Goff's jersey. They're running out and they're trotting onto the field. And you see David Montgomery's jersey. How does that make you feel, knowing that you invested a first-round pick and your first-round pick is on the bench? Well, Joe, he's still a PPR machine. I check downs. Dude, it still doesn't matter. If I can get this guy round 8, 9, sure. But I'm paying a first-round pick for a guy I know is going to be a running back too. On paper, it bothers me. It's more of like an ego, I don't want to do it type thing. Where I can get a buy Jam when I know he's the clear-cut one. I can get a Breece Hall when I know he's the RB1. Sorry. I know that with these guys, okay? With Jahmyr, I know he's the RB1, but it's still Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, Montgomery's still going to be there, okay? That's the point I'm trying to make. So all I'm saying is, guys, these guys are first-round picks. Jahmyr Gibbs, Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua. But I've given you the warnings on why you need to be aware. Buyer beware, drafter beware, that these guys have their share of question marks. You need to be aware, especially with a first-round pick, okay? And there's tons of value later in drafts. And if you guys want all the sleepers, breakouts, late round steals, and who to actually draft, make sure you guys grab the 16-round draft solution. That being said, I'm still recommending Jahmyr Gibbs in 16 rounds, but I'm putting asterisks beside it. I'm putting a warning. There's other options I recommend. It's up to you guys. At the end of the day, it's up to you guys what you feel. I make my recommendations. I explain the possible warnings. Okay, it's up to you guys to make that executive decision. Don't believe in my convictions. I'm just giving you guys my research and my gut feeling and my data and my experience. It's up to you guys to make the executive decision at the end of the day. But I give you guys, I lay it all out for you guys in 16 rounds and on this channel. So if you're new to the channel, guys, slap it, tap it, smash it. I want to make sure you guys actually win your leagues. No copy and paste BS. This is the truth, guys. So hit the thumbs up, turn on that bell, and go grab 16 rounds. You guys will never look back, okay? We'll talk soon, guys. I appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Gonna go spend some time with the family. Enjoy your day. All right, guys? Drafter beware. I'm out.